Morning from beautiful Auckland, beautiful Tamaki Makaurau. So today I thought I'd come to you. I actually went to Ponsonby. A bit of a shout out there to me old mate Clark here at Dizengoff. Beautiful place to have breakfast, Dizengoff. You don't get a bit of breakfast in this town than Dizengoff. But I thought I'd come out to Mission Bay, and the reason I come out here is because I see there's a bit more drama yesterday in the paper about these nutters from Auckland Transport and Wakatahi who are going to close the Auckland Harbour Bridge, which is State Highway 1, down for a few days, or a day, probably more, at a cost of about $1 million for people to ride and walk across it. Now, I know it's happened before. I think with the marathon we closed it, don't we, in the half marathon? But I'm concerned there's a pattern of behaviour here. You'll remember that Pippa Coombe, who is extreme left and in my view a dangerous member of council, although I'll rein her in, she orchestrated the hijacking of State Highway 1 at the Auckland Harbour Bridge about 6 months to a year ago, and she was in the modern style of Cuddles Costa, or Pansy Costa as his colleagues call him. That's the Commissioner of Police. They gave it the green light and said it's okay. It's never okay to block or hijack State Highway 1. Let me tell you that. State Highway 1, the arterial route of New Zealand, will never be hijacked or controlled by militants under my watch. But the one thing I want to talk about today, apart from biking, and I'm going to loop round back to this, but I just want to mention it now, is I handled the virus yesterday. I did. I handled the virus, and today I'm in Mission Bay, and I want to talk to you about that. But let's get back to the bikes for a start. So the bikes, yeah, I've got a problem with this, and I came to Mission Bay because Tamaki Drive has been torn up and rebuilt, and that bike lane, which is dysfunctional, it's built on a camelback, so it's got two proud curbs that hold it in place. That's been relayed I think 3 or 4 times now, and on the way over I just wanted to see if it's flowing freely, if the traffic's moving freely. It's not. It's not even close to moving freely. The people, well, no one's using the bike lane, to be honest with you. The bike lane people want to go faster than 15 kilometres an hour because they're athletes. On Saturdays and Sundays they're athletes, they're accountants and bookkeepers during the week. But they put their lycra on, they become athletes, so they want to go fast, so they go on the road. So you're held up in your car, which is your legitimate means of carriage, behind a row of cyclists who insist on riding 3 and 4 wide because the pathway that's been created for them after about 3 years of chaos out here by Auckland Transport is not fit for purpose. So that kind of summarises cycling in Auckland City at the moment. It's really a case of and or though, isn't it? I was talking to Barney Irvine about this the other day. Barney's the best traffic advisor and expert in town that we know of anyway. And Barney said to me that it's got to be and or. It can't be a carriageway and a bike lane. It's got to be a carriageway or a bike lane. And that's a project we've got to think about for the future. So anyway, getting back to this business about the virus. So what's happened here in town is I went and bought 75 rats, as they call them these days, to test the staff, because the staff have been having a bit of a whinge about a couple of them had a sniffle or a cough or something. And the bar next door to us, which funny enough we have an interest in the real estate there but not the operating business, they had something like 15 of their staff stand down, and that's what we're hearing all over town. Our security firm had 4 staff down yesterday. So I said to any of our staff, to all of our staff, not any of them, how many are we down of the 71? And they said we're 5 down. So I said, tell everyone who wants a rat test to come in. So I got the rat test from my very dear friends at the local pharmacy, very, very expensive. Brought the staff in, and one at a time we tested them, and you wouldn't believe it. 5 of them tested positive. So my question then was, well, if you're positive, help me understand what your symptoms are. And one said, well, I've had a bit of a headache. Or I'm actually talking that down. She said a pounding headache, but I feel fine today. So how long do you have a pounding headache for? A couple of days. How long since you've been at work? I haven't been at work for a week. Rightio. So the incubation cycle is 3 to 5 days. You haven't been at work for a week. You feel good now. You've tested positive. You had a pounding headache for 2 days. Is that what this virus is about? So the second bloke I tested, young fella, healthy young fella, about 20, 22, I'm going to guess, don't want to divulge his name or details. I said to him, you've just tested positive. And he said, yeah, I'm not surprised. I said, why aren't you surprised? He said, I had a sore throat for a couple of days. I said, you had a sore throat? You look 100% normal to me. I said, I feel normal. I feel like I can work. I said, well, let's agree that we all stand you down for a few days. So we stood 5 staff down. Lo and behold, unbeknownst to me, a member of staff turned up, tested, positive, said, I feel 100% normal, and then proceeded to work. So here's my point. This is bizarre. This mad nutcase strategy we're implementing across the city, red zone are we in, or pink zone, or rosé zone, or some bloody zone that's dysfunctional, doesn't work. It's a waste of time. Meantime, all the modellers have gone to ground. They've disappeared. That useless Hendy's gone. The pink-haired Susie Wild, she's evaporated. All the epidemiologists who really good have gone. I see my mate Professor Rod Jackson, he's gone. They've all disappeared because they've realised that they've completely misread this. And the Herald and those other, or that left-wing stuff, publication, whatever it is, media entity, they're dragging up nobodies and wannabes now who will substantiate and support these bizarre arguments I've got, that this virus is something to be scared of. Let me remind you now, I just named about 25 people that I know who currently are positive. They're happy to work and operate in the viaduct. Now, if I know 25 people, I know a lot of people in Auckland, but I don't know everyone. I will soon, but I don't know them now. How many people are there out there who are positive and don't care, who are not getting tested, who are not scanning in, who are just getting on with their life? Well, I can tell you, there must be tens of thousands of them. Extrapolate the numbers. It's logical. This has gone beyond bizarre. It's no longer functional. It's ludicrous. We might as well be sprinkling everyone with bloody holy water and fairy dust and hundreds of thousands. It's nutcase stuff. So I've been and had a wee peeky boo at the major publications around the world before I came live for you this morning. I've checked the Guardian, the BBC, the Huffington Post, the Washington Post, the Sydney Morning Herald, the Age. Not one of those entities, not one of them is running a lead story about COVID. So why is New Zealand in lockdown? They tell me over 70% of businesses in Auckland are going to lock down this week because they know someone who's positive or have a close contact. For what? For the vanity project of the Labour Party and the Prime Minister and Ashley Bloomfield? Is Ashley Bloomfield even fit for purpose? That's a question that should be asked, and drill down on that. Is Ashley Bloomfield fit for purpose? Look, normal service has to resume, and it has to resume soon. We've got to get on with our lives. In Mission Bay here now, there's probably a couple hundred people here. No one's wearing masks. People are mixing. If you're in a well-ventilated environment like this, enjoying your life, you're doing the right thing. So I would encourage all of Auckland, don't worry about this virus. If you're a normal, healthy person, there's nothing to it. I deliberately handled it yesterday after I had tested the staff guy, the guy I described as only having a bit of a sore throat. I deliberately handled it. I will not keep the virus. I've had 3 vaccinations. I will keep your progress, update my progress every day. There is no or nothing to fear here. It is a myth. You're living in a climate of fear, a climate of blood and guts, perpetuated by the soft, uninformed media. Let's all agree to get back on the horse and get started again. We've got to resume our normal life. Otherwise, Auckland is simply going to collapse and grind to a halt, and we don't want that. Hey, one thing I do want to show you before I go, join Team Leo, by the way. Click the link and join Team Leo. Send us a note if you've got anything you can help us with. Fence of your house, of your property, we can put a sign on, bumper sticker for your car, something in a shop window. I see Family Bar from K Road. Family Bar, Wayne and Grady have reached out and said they want a banner. Long Room wants a banner, everyone wants a banner, everyone wants Leo. But I just want to show you something that I really like. I just, when I came here, I didn't come here for this reason. I'll just turn around here and go over now. Right on the foreshore at Mission Bay, look at that for a beauty. That's Otis Frizzell. I don't know Otis, but I know people who do. That's stunning. That's one, not very often this council gets anything right, but these pieces of artwork, these whale tails around town, they are fantastic. And on that note, I'm going to sign off. So remember, Leo for Mayor, register, click on the link, and let's get this job done. We've got a lot of work to do, and I need all hands on deck. And while I'm here talking to you, I'm about to sign off. I see the local Chinese community are here doing what they do out in the parks. They're totally harmless and peaceful. Falun Gong, holding their hands in the air. I look very zen and very happy. I'll just do a quick 360 so you can see them in behind me. But they're causing no harm. I don't know why that's such a big issue with a lot of people, but it is. A big shout out to the Asian community. I'm going to need you. I'm going to need all the small business actually. So on that note, I'll sign off. Click the link. Take care. Look after yourself. Talk to you tomorrow. Bye now.